that?
I'm just going to start the recording and then we will begin. So I loved all the questions that came in. And by the way, I loved the last session. It was amazing. It was awesome. I loved everything about it. But today I'm going to go into your questions. I'm going to just try to get to them because I know we still have a while left, but I feel like we don't. And so I'm like, I just want to really get as much chance to personal mentor you guys as possible to start creating massive results. So let me pull it up. I'll start with Talisha since she is going to be in a nail appointment. So we'll just go over yours. Oh no, where did they go? Okay. So you said biggest struggle is getting your assignments in for the pageant. So I didn't know if you were just saying that or if you wanted advice on that.
Yeah, nope, I got it all finished. I messaged you when we got that taken care of with Voxer. So all is good with that.
Yay, I love it. And I'm so excited. We were just talking about the pageant and I'm excited for you to see where the dinner's at. So it's going to be awesome.
Ooh.
I'm excited for that.
Yay.
So expect some information this week. So the next thing is getting a funnel in place to sell my membership package. So I always tell people everybody should have a funnel. Funnels are probably the most important thing in your entire business. And for those that don't know what a funnel is, it's really, it could be as complicated or as simple as you want it. And so it's pretty much how you get somebody from a stranger to a loyal customer. And there's so many steps that go in between that because there's a stranger to a follower to a loyal follower to a customer to a loyal customer. And so you're figuring out how do you get these people over here into your funnel to actually start buying. And so a simple way to create a funnel is I always put my high-end package up here. So, okay, say my highest end package to work with me would be $10,000. Awesome. Boom. My lowest option would be my free Facebook group. You guys get what that means. That means free. So here's my free Facebook group. And I'm actually going to put the Facebook group and challenges right here. So here's my group and my challenges. How am I going to get people? Actually, we'll just put the group. So I have so many different funnels. I'm trying to simplify this for you guys. So how do you create people to get into your group? I do a challenge. I'll do a chat bot. They would be different funnels. So I'll just start with a challenge. So a challenge would be my thing. I'm going to go on my personal page. Obviously my personal page would be on my funnel too. So you can put all of your little free stuff down here. Awesome. I'm going to get them into a challenge, which then gets them into my group. At the end of that challenge in my group, I'm going to offer them into Finance Your Destiny, which is anywhere between $200 to $1,000 that I'll offer it at. But we'll just say $200, which then in Finance Your Destiny, I could then offer them into Building Your Destiny. And then within Building Your Destiny, I could offer them into personal mentoring, which I just did today. I just offered that in my Building Your Destiny. I said I have 2 people that are going to be done with personal mentoring, which one of them is going to be Talisha. And so I have 2 spots open. I open it up to them first before I even open it up into the public. And so that's a simple funnel. And so when Talisha's asking okay, how do I create this funnel now I got to go back to her question for her membership package. So tell me a little bit about what your membership package is, Talisha.
Okay, so the membership package is going to be for people that want to work with me more monthly, but they don't want to buy into the big packages.
Okay, so here's what I would say. If we're going to create you a funnel, and stay unmuted for a second. I know you're busy, so
No, you're okay. I can stay unmuted.
Yeah, we're good with noise. But so we're going to go into this funnel. So obviously your funnel, what has been your thought of how you're going to market it?
So far just in my group, and I was also thinking of doing a free PDF, a quiz or something to get people interested.
Okay, so you go to your group and you then could offer them into a free PDF, or you could do it backwards, a free PDF to offer them into your group.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking there.
What does the PDF entail?
So I wanted it to either be a quiz or just like an in-depth chakra thing for people to recognize what chakra is
Awesome.
out.
So with this PDF, so you're going to do your group into a PDF, which I would say leads them into a chatbot. So on that PDF, you're gonna send it all through a chatbot. Which, and I know one of your questions was where do I do a quiz? My quick answer would be like SurveyMonkey. Would be a quick one. So then you'll give them the link through the chatbot with SurveyMonkey. So then you have them now in your chatbot, which then you nurture that chatbot and then lead them into your membership. Or what you could do is lead them into, I'm not even going to try to write, into your membership. What you could do is, and everybody should think about this. I always think, what's your offer and what's your launch? So I have so many different funnels. You should have one big funnel of your actual business, but for right now of like every launch, I have a funnel for every launch. So you just think, how am I bringing that person from a stranger to a follower, to a loyal follower, to a customer, to a loyal customer. And so you have to nurture them. It's not anything quick. And a lot of you already know this system, but what I would say, sorry, I'm going to get lots of notifications, but what I would say is, and I'm going to just mute you for a second so I can like think. But so what I would say is, you have this membership. You need to think about, okay, well, obviously you're going to give them something free, which is a free PDF that is going to then get them into your chatbot. You're going to then, I would say, do like some sort of free training or group thing or free challenge, and then it's going to lead them into the sell. Just like that. And so then when you're going, and I know you didn't ask this question, but you can thank me later. I'm going to go into this. What I would say is when you're selling this challenge, and there's a thing, I think you're in Building Your Destiny. In Building Your Destiny in the membership site, there's a whole thing that talks about sales. And go find the one that talks about sales and try to go back and remember how you would sell it as far as, okay, I have this high-end package that you could pay $10,000 to work with me. This is what it includes. This is what you get, blah, 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 blah. And, but I don't think you need this high-end package. Obviously for the people that you don't think need it. So always be in integrity. And I was just talking to Kelly about this too. So I don't think you need this high-end package. I also have this lower-end package where you could be in Building Your Destiny. You try it out for $1. You could go look at all of my trainings, all of this stuff, blah, blah, blah. We have a month training, a month Q&A. Or I have this middle ground package, and it kind of is the best of both worlds. You get high-end help, but it's but you don't have to pay the high-end price. So you get all the perks from that high-end stuff. And you also get this lower-end package anyways. Plus you just get that personalized help with me. So like you guys kind of all bought into my middle end package where it's the in between. It's not personal mentoring, but it's personal mentoring in a group setting. So you still get help, but you obviously don't get like all day, every day attention from me, and me, like you get help on these times that we have this, and then as much as you Voxer me. And so we create a strategy, but I don't like sit down with you personally on a Zoom and draw out your whole thing unless obviously you ask for it. So that's what I would do is just remembering that. I know you didn't ask for that, but remember that sales tactic and go back in Building Your Destiny and watch that one. Because I think it'll really help you in selling your membership site. The best thing I ever did for my membership site is, I don't know if you remember, a long time ago, is I did per se an incentive-based pricing where I said, okay, you guys, I'm opening up this new thing. It's called Building Your Destiny. The first person that signs up gets it for $5. The next person gets it for $6. The next person gets it for $7. So on, so on, so on, so on, until it gets to $35. Then everybody can get in for $35. And now all of those people that were in there, they got a lifetime access to what is still growing now, which is now $17 a month. But they admit, I still let people try out for $1. So they could go in for $1, take all the information that's in there, close out, or they can continue if they want to continue that. And so I would say for your first trial of membership, if you're okay with them having lifetime access, I would do that route. It works really well. And I quickly gained, I think it was like $700 just getting people in there in that route. If you guys are always thinking, how do I get people to sign up for something fast? Do things like that. Hey, first person that signs up gets it for $10. Next person gets it for 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's an easy way to do like a training and make like a good amount of money, but it's a good incentive for them as well. So hopefully that helps you figure that out. The next question you would ask, so the Survey Monkey. I was looking at Survey Monkey. You could also Google like free quizzes, but Survey Monkey works pretty good depending how in-depth you want the quiz. So I would just Google free quizzes. There's so many out there, and find the one that works with your personality. Just make sure you can link it into your chatbot or at least onto your MailChimp. And then you said, I'm wondering if, this was a different question I went back and saved from a while ago that you wrote, is I'm wondering if it's okay to set my goal with a number of sessions I need to fill instead of a dollar amount. So for example, your goal would be 7 sessions rather than $2,000. So I think that's completely fine. To be anything that's numbers is fine with me. So if you're like, I want to get 3 clients this month, awesome, love it. Anything that's measurable. It's when goals are like, oh, I just want to feel happy, or I want to be stress-free, or like, you know, those like fluffy goals that like you can't measure a feeling. You can measure amount of sales going in, amount of people that you're connecting. Even if you're like, I want to grow my group to 500 people this month. It might not even be like a sales goal, but you're growing numbers, and that's what matters. So I love that. Let's see, I'm going to go to Misty's. And I know I'm flying through these, so if I'm going too fast, Felicia, number 1, did that answer your questions?
Yes, yeah, that answered it perfectly. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, if I want to make sure I can just like fly through these so everybody can gain some sort of strategy, but if any questions come up from what I'm teaching, please feel free to ask or type them below or whatever you need, and I can go into more depth. I just want to make sure that I hit everybody's stuff. So just let me know if I need to list those.
I do just have one follow-up question. How long should I do the nurturing stage for?
Well, it's kind of trial and error. Like for me, I don't have to do it very long. I can do like 1 or 2 bots and then sell people into something and make $4,000. Some people, I will get some unsubscribed. So even my bot that I sent out today, I got 1 unsubscribed because I told them to go watch my video I did, my free video. And so I'm okay with unsubscribes. If it bothers you to have people unsubscribe, I'd say nurture them for 2 or 3 days. Give them lots of, and I don't mean nurture them by like giving them all this stuff. Literally, people in chatbots think you're talking to them, then just ask them a question. Like I have a chatbot that will be going out on the 4th that you'll all see. Happy 4th of July. And even FE will have one. Happy 4th of July. Hope you enjoy the sunshine, blah, blah, blah. Tell me how you celebrate. Just even like talking like that will be good nurturing. I'd say just focus on your chatbot for a week and creating that in communication, and then offering them into something free, and then sell to them during that like training or whatever it is that you're doing. That's what I would say. Okay, so let's see. Now I lost the questions. Let's see. One thing from others. Okay, so Misty, one of your questions was a good place to get business cards, printing for packaging, and good website builders. So if you're not wanting to, here's my thing. If you're going to build your own website, I would do something like Wix that's super user friendly that you can call and get information on. Like they'll walk you step by step through it. I would do something like that. Now it's going to be a little harder to have a shop on there. So I liked the idea of Squarespace, something like that, but you're going to constantly have to be updating it. That's where it's going to be the pain. I would almost just have a site or a landing page that leads people to your Etsy account. If you have an Etsy account or however you're selling to people, I think that's going to be the best beginner option. Really, in all honesty, when you get to a point, I would just hire somebody to do it for you and create it. Like my website's a WordPress, and I can have like all these different membership sites and all these different things. I think I just barely finished my membership course, my site, and my I am going to be launching Finance Your Destiny again. So that's going to be a course site. And I think the whole thing cost me $1,700. So it really wasn't that bad for how much work she's putting into it. And she's really good. So I have a really good referral when you're ready to go that route. But I'd say at the beginning, doing something like Wix is going to be your best option. And then connecting it to like a Squarespace or something. It just depends how often you're wanting to upload stuff. I don't know if that helps. Let me see. There you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that helps. My thought on starting my own website was to avoid fees on the other websites. So hopefully, so when I'm selling on Etsy, I'm putting cards in my stuff that's giving them my other website where they can purchase, and then eventually moving customers over to where I'm not getting.
So a lot of times what happens is you're still going to have to connect a store to your site, like a PayPal, a Square, a Stripe. So you're still going to have the fees because you still have to have some sort of shop. Yeah. It's connected. So like on my site, my PayPal is connected. Now if you know somebody that's really good, they can connect it to where the other person pays the fees. So like they just pay the fees instead, but you could set however, I don't know how Etsy does it. I'm not familiar with Etsy. But I'm sure it's probably like Venmo. They just like take it out automatically unless they give you an option to pay through PayPal. You can have the option that they're just paying the fees already. So I would more figure out how do you just raise your prices to cover the fees and make it okay? Or how do you get money elsewhere? Like, can you raise a price on a product that you could maybe raise it $5, $10? It's going to cover the fees for the other things. That would probably be the best option, or just start focusing on different platforms like Instagram where people have to come and just pay you through Venmo or something. But yeah, you're never really going to fully get around the fees, like completely.
Yeah. I was thinking it would probably be less, but it would still then be my efforts. I would then have to put in a lot of time and effort for that. So
yeah, I would figure out currently how else you could just like balance out those fees. Like doing those little like classes or something like that and just raising the prices, like finding income out. I think you're to a point in your business, you can figure out what's my second source of income within this business, because this already kind of runs itself. Now you have to still continue to make things and advertise it, but overall it's a functioning, successful business that just needs more advertisement per se. I would figure out what's your like second source of income within that business. Like, are you going to start just being more consistent with classes and doing them like every other month or something like that, where you can make chunks of a few $100s at one point? And like, I would start thinking of your second source of income for right now, to build up to then hire somebody to do a website for you, because I think I think you'll be so overwhelmed. And so I get so overwhelmed with like that type of stuff that it's just easier to do it right the first time and pay somebody. Now you could always go on Fiverr and find someone on Fiverr for super cheap, but I would say my gut's telling you to just find that second source of income next.
Okay.
To help balance that out. Because everybody, so I always say like focus on one thing, master one thing, but the ease starts to come in your business when you have multiple sources of income. So I don't feel like I have to constantly be trying to find personal clients. I can keep myself at about 5 clients so I can give them their stuff, focus on my group programs, and then that's about it. Other than that, I focus on like FEE, my coconut oil, all these other things, Juice Plus, that are also raising, because then I always know I have a couple thousand coming from here, a couple thousand coming from here, a few thousand coming from here, and then that's where the ease starts to come, is where you find that residual income coming in, of like, you just know, but don't overwhelm yourself to like start a million different things. Master one, and then like Misty, she's just getting to that point where she's like, I either have to make more jewelry or like cut fees or like find, but it's not going to cut fees enough to really make a difference of worth your efforts. So I love that question. I think that was great. And I do love the idea of Vistaprint. I always use Vistaprint. You can always use like local shops. But I've always had the best luck with Vistaprint. Sometimes like You just have to make sure that like it's not super grainy or quality, like it's a quality picture you're using. But I do love Vistaprint. I'd say that's always my go-to. But you're always more than welcome to, it's not like my biggest specialty to know ideas. You could always post it and expand your destiny too and see if other people have different options. But I always find that Vistaprint and like something like Wix would be my first startup of going into something. But I did have a Squarespace on my website. I connected a Squarespace on my website, and that's how I started selling my programs. And like I said, they still take out a fee, but it was connected. It's just going to be a pain with jewelry. Unless you have like, you put your few simple things, it'd be a great place to put like courses, stuff like that. But yeah, you could do a Facebook shop. There's so many options, but I want to go that route right now.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't do I started a Facebook shop back when I very first started this, and it was like I was constantly having to anyway, it was too much.
It's a pain.
And I'm already gonna open, I think, an Amazon and an eBay as well. So
yeah,
that'll be.
I love that.
Anyway, so yeah, okay. Thank
you. I love
you.
that. That's awesome. So then when you move it to Amazon, just raise your prices for everything.
Yeah.
Is what I would do.
Higher fees there too.
Yeah. I just raise your prices. And if people are buying your stuff, it's okay to raise your prices because they like it. So they're telling you, okay, you can raise your prices. And then that's how you won't be as overwhelmed with all the work either. So you're going to attract more of the higher end client that's willing to pay. And you are going to lose some people, but you're also going to have less work making more. It's like, I remember when I had 20 clients, now I have 5 because it's just, I make the same amount now because I raised my prices, because I got the testimonials, I got all that, and people pay it. It's just a matter, and I don't have to deal with like the people that just suck you dry day in and day out. So it's a scary jump, but it's definitely one that's worth it.
I did that with my rings. Sorry, I did that with my rings, and I only raised them like just according to because each size is a different price for me, and so I raised them just like a few dollars up, not even a lot, and all of a sudden I sold like 25 rings and whatever, and so like within like a week or two, I don't know, and so I've seen that happen. And I had a couple people message and say, I thought I was buying 2 rings, I would never have spent that much for 1 ring, but and I was like, okay, I'll refund you, no big deal, but I don't care because I'm making way more money than what I just refunded you, on the others.
Exactly. So I'd ask yourself, is it time to raise prices again? Don't let the fear of those people saying that stuff, like I get people all the time, that's too expensive. I'm like, no, it's just not a priority. So, you know what I mean? People that it's a priority to buy nice jewelry that's handmade or hand stamped, like they'll pay for it. Now, if you were like just starting out and like, yeah, I'm going to charge you $50, like that's where we get the problem. So I think you're good. I love it. The next question's Teresa's. Still want to officially announce and launch my business. Is social media the best way to go? I always tell people it just depends on the route that you're going to be having your business. So the best way to go for me is social media because I'm on social media all the time. If you're wanting people to be on YouTube, if you're wanting people to be on an email list or whatever it is, I'd say that's the best way to go is whichever route you're going to go. Like for our events, the best way to offer our things is at our events, is to go to other events, get people to come to our events. And so we're very in person. For like FEE. We do a lot of networking like crazy. So I'd say it just depends if you're going to be more doing in-person stuff or online stuff. Because people that are online, they show up online. People that are in person, they show up on person and they hate social media. And so I would definitely say launching your business from your personal page to start with if you're doing on social media. Depending on if you have a group or what you have, but like your personal page, all of you, if you're not utilizing your personal page for your business, you're missing out on thousands and thousands of dollars. And so like because I see like I'm getting versus in my group right now, and it used to be opposite until the algorithms changed. My group now I'll get 5 to 20 comments on my personal page, just this week, I've been getting 90 to 100 comments. And so I do more of what works. And so I'd go back through your videos. I'd go back through your things and see what people like. Do they like written posts? Do they like videos? Do they like both? Which ones are you getting more comments on? And that's the way I'd launch your business. And same thing I told Talisha, I would launch it with something like a free challenge. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I just launched my business and blah, blah, blah. I'm so excited to show you guys what I'm about. Come join this free emotional mind takeover or whatever. I don't know. I just made that up. But like emotional mind takeover challenge. It's going to be 5 days, this. And then that's where you can get them into a bot or into a group if you have one, or it could be held just on your personal page. But I would definitely launch it with a free training, a free challenge. Give them something free, because right now you're just Teresa. What the hell is she doing now? What is she up to now? What's going on? Like, they don't really know what you're about. And your belief system that you're going to have to break through with people right now is why is she credible? And the way to show that you're credible is to give it all for free online as much as you can. Get people results with your free content so that they then will sign up for create that funnel for yourself. Ask yourself, what's the funnel I'm going to take them through? Because at this point, people aren't going to jump from like $0 to $5,000. Now, there will be some that do, but majority won't. And so what do you have in the middle for the majority people? Maybe you do like a 4-week personal mentoring thing like I'm doing right now. Maybe you do like a 4-week mindset training and they pay $97. So then you take them through that funnel of personal page to a Facebook challenge to a training to at the end of that training, that's where you're going to sell them something. Where we run into issues is when people go to launch, they just want to launch their sales because they want to make money now. They're not thinking about how do I nurture the audience. So does that help a little bit, or do any follow-up questions come with that?
No, that definitely helps, because of course, money is going to come, but that's not my priority. It's more my credibility and getting more followers and all that stuff. So that's what's number one to me, not the money.
Yeah.
So like the free, give more for free. So maybe I'll on Voxer, like just ask a couple more follow-up questions in terms of how to present that, without like flashing and I'm waving, nothing like too overly excited. It's just like, this is real. This is genuine. Come see what it's all about.
Well, and I would definitely like when you say flashing and waving, I think if you have to flash and wave, freaking awesome. Like, be like, the more you make your quirks come out, the more people are going to be like, I'm going to follow her out of curiosity. People are either going to follow you to watch you fail or follow you to watch you succeed or follow you just because they think this is weird as like all ever. And so I have all 3 followers. And so I address all of them, And so what I would say is, yeah, definitely Voxer me, but like in case this helps other people too, when you go to launch stuff, being like super, like I loved Face Video because it was so real. It was so vulnerable and people were connecting to that like crazy. I was connecting to it. And so what I would say is it worked. And as much as you hate it, do it again. And so because it worked, and the more consistency you can keep with people, the better it's going to be. So as you start thinking about your launching, start thinking about consistency, and watching and observing and tracking what are people liking. Because you'll be amazed and you'll be like, why do people want to hear this stuff? Like, this isn't like, you know what I mean? And so start teaching more of what people want to hear. So like Faith, it has nothing to do with your foot zoning, but whatever you talked about, people loved it. People were soaking it up. And then you were just talking about yourself. So do more of it and start to nurture that audience and get them to just follow you. And then you can create that into a free get together at your house where you're going to do like a foot zone circle and they're going to learn about chakras or something like that. Or maybe you lead them into a free online thing where like, again, where like they can learn about like the feet and different like things there. Maybe you do a fun like Mom and Me class. I know you're onto like the pregnancy thing right now. So really attract those pregnant women right now. And so as you guys start to like launch things, start to think about consistency and more of what other people want. And then really figuring out what can I get them into that I can really show them value. And the best thing you can do is like a free hour something, a free hour training, because then you have skin in the game of like, I'm teaching for an hour, I dang well will be offering at the end of that. And it could be something simple that you offer. But I think you're on the right track, Teresa. I really even sense that your energy just feels like a lot calmer, and you're just like, you're on the right path right now. So I'm really excited for you. So Voxer me as things come up and how you want to launch it and what you want to do, and we'll definitely brainstorm that, because it will be key. But my biggest thing for you right now is set a date. Don't plan, set a date, then go with it. Because if you're really wanting audiences and followers too, that's where you start doing a challenge where the most people that add this many people to the challenge will get a free 15 minutes with me or something like that. So start thinking and brainstorming of ways that if you guys need to grow your audience, how can you grow your audience? I'm testing out some Facebook ads right now because I've kind of ran out of my inner circle people, and then my people that I've attracted, I've like ran out of their people, and now I'm like, how can I? So I'm running some ads to like people that have really high followers and giving them a free money mindset workbook, and I'm like Marie Forleo, Taylor Manning, I'm attracting those people. Yes, I love it. 7/13 is my date. Awesome. Love it. Yeah, everybody always sets a date and then they plan. So I love it. Okay. So Faith, mine is still just finding what ways to get my foot zoning out there. I've done lots of events, posted flyers around and starting to do more Facebook Lives, but haven't gotten many results. So this is what I'm going to show you. This is where we get to be fun. So I always tell people when they think they're posting like crazy, I can go to your page and I'm just going to scroll, and I want everybody to look and tell us if by looking at her page, you know she does foot zoning or even jewelry. I love that you have like almost 400 views though. And so I don't see anything here that tells me, oh, I know what Faith does. So what I would say is really starting with your personal page, and per se feeling spammy. Because I always tell people that like feel like they're doing a lot and they're like, oh, I'm not getting any results. And then I look at their page and I don't see anything minus right here. Like I see you're a foot zone therapist. But other than that, like I don't see any offers or specials or this or you educating people like in this sense right here. Then I know people have this block of feeling like they're going to be spammy. So here's what I would do. Feel like you're spammy, because if you're worried about it, you're not going to be spammy. What I would do is I would change your cover photo to something you're offering right now. Or even that it says foot zone, like get people to know what you're doing right here. And every day I'd say I'm either going to do a live and educate people or I'm going to do a post. But when I scroll through, think of it as like a stranger. I don't have a clue what you do. I know you love your dog, but like, you know what I mean? And so, and everybody, I could probably go to everybody's page right now, so that you don't feel like you're the only one getting called out. I could probably go to everybody's page minus Talicia's, because she mentors with me and I make sure she's up on it. But like, we don't know that she does jewelry. Like there's nothing that says that. And so do you see, you're not the only one. And so it's when you go to people's pages and like, there's like, that's the first funnel. So think of like your personal page is that bottom funnel. Where is it leading them to? Because if people don't know what you do, they don't know what you do. And so we think people just magically know what we do. Think of the strangers. Think of that first-time person that has no idea. You do foot zoning, you do jewelry, you do anything. Really start utilizing your personal page. Because if you can't master your personal page, it's going to be really hard to master a group and get people into there. Because your personal page has to be very easy to follow into your group. so that they know what you do. So all the content, and I'm not saying you have to spam people, because you could go look at my page even right now. Like, I don't necessarily have any offers, but do you see how I have this big cover photo that people can see? And I kind of messed up because this actually has the bit.ly link to my group, but I need to move it. So that would show where they could find me. But you can see how I just did a video today, and it's talking about content around what I do. I try to meet the people that like videos, the people that are visuals and just want a quick, like, this or that. And I have a little quote or scripture or whatever, which has nothing really to do with my business, but it does. I find the scriptures that align with business, you know what I mean? And what they're going for is like, you don't know the path or blah, 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 blah. So, and then I just did this one on limiting beliefs. So when I'm trying to deconstruct and reconstruct a belief, right now, I'm running into a lot of people that are playing a victim to their circumstances, that they feel like they're the only ones going through what they're going through, that everything's piled up on them, and I could never understand what it's like, ever in a million years. That's the type of people I'm attracting right now, and I'm so over them, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm so over victimhood because I do understand. I've been through trauma. I've been through where I was, head over, like, just drowning in debt. I also was in a place where it's like, how do I make that shift from like one transition of business to another, like all these different things. So what I did is I did a victim post to deconstruct that belief in people. And also I know the people that, right? It's funny, it calls out new people. This girl, I have no idea who she is, but I'm going to keep my eye on her because it obviously pulled her out. And it's all these people are new. The only person I think I've seen right before is her. I've seen her write in my stuff before. And so I'm going to keep an eye and engage with these two people because they're new. I've never seen them write on my stuff. I also am starting to focus on, I'm going to be selling Finance Your Destiny. So I'm really focusing a lot on money mindset stuff. And I know people think that the law of attraction is weird. So I'm always like, what is this money mindset stuff anyways? Is it that weird law of attraction stuff? So you'll see me deconstructing a lot of beliefs right now, a ton of beliefs. Right here, what's your biggest belief that stirs some people up? I got like 40 comments on that one. And then, yeah, just random stuff. But yeah, so then another scripture about like victimhood. Yeah, so then my husband's tattoo. That was a pretty big deal. So lots of that. But so yeah. If you kind of see, and then I did a testimony. So then someone like had posted, like they got to buy this boat and all this stuff because of this or that. So I want you to really start to think about, if you go to your page, does mine look spammy? No. But I'm preparing people because I'm going to be spamming the crap out of them when I start to launch Finance Your Destiny, which is coming up in August. And so I'm going to be I'm probably going to do a free 5-day challenge because this is what works for me. Every single time I'll do a 5 free day challenge. I'll offer at the end of that challenge. And for about the next week or so, I'll just spam the crap every single day on my Facebook. But overall, the rest of the year or the times I'm not launching stuff, there's not massive spammage. But I'm constantly talking and tying stuff into my core message, which is so key when you guys are thinking about like your content. And you have like your offer right here, how we always talk about that pinwheel, you have to create those subperipheral messages, because I know I can talk about money. I know I can talk about victimhood, and this actually isn't victimhood. It's called patterns. And there's 3 patterns I teach about, and it's victimhood, comparison, and perfectionism. And those are the 3 things that I see stop all women, a lot of people, but I mostly work with women when moving forward. Either the content's not perfect enough, they play victim to their circumstances as if they're the only ones that have ever been through what they've been through. And the comparison. They compare to the people that are doing the same things. Like, why do I not just magically become successful overnight? Or how do other moms do it? There's no way you can like be a mom and run a business and all this stuff. And so This one is actually one of my messages, and it's called Patterns. And so within Patterns, I talk about victimhood, comparison, and perfectionism. And so, and then I obviously have money mindset. I'll talk about sabotage, like all these different things. But then you can have like your different topics that go under there. But no matter what, they're going to tie back into money right now because I'm getting ready to launch Finance Your Destiny. So everything I do and everything I write about, it has everything to do with nurturing my audience in what they think their limited beliefs are right now, so that when I get to launching it, they know that they can't use sabotage or obstacles as an excuse because I just did a video on it. They can't use I can't afford it because I'm going to address that. They can't use that their spouse like won't let them, or they have to ask their husband. Like I address that clear a month before the class even starts. I am constantly working on getting these beliefs out because people have to see it. And then every once in a while, I'll throw in a little offer or, hey, we should hop on a phone call, because I'm also, like I said, I just have 2 openings for personal mentor clients. So like it's on my radar that I could sell those. But my main focus is Finance Your Destiny. But I already know that those spots will fill so quickly that I'm not worried about obsessing over finding them. I have it on my vision board and I'll do mindset work around it and they'll just show up. Because don't ever, when you're trying to find personal clients, don't ever try to reach out and beg, because those are the ones that, just let them come to you. Let personal clients come to you. That's all I have to say, because it's not worth it. And then you get amazing people like Talisha. So that's rocking it. And so let me see. I got out of all the questions. Did I miss anybody's questions that had typed something? Because I had just got out of all of them, and now if I missed your question, let me know. If other questions have came up, let me know. As you're thinking, as you're processing, pretty much the next 15 minutes is yours to just like nail down. Because if you have a question, someone else probably has the same question. So let me help you. No questions? We're going to end early? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me? Talisha, I know you always have a question, but I know you're getting your nails done.
Nope, I am good. You did great to answer all of mine. If I have anything come up when I start doing my thing, I can just box for you.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Okay. Well, I'm trying to think of anything else I have to say, but I don't think I have anything else I have to say. Kelly, do you have a question? You just came back, so I didn't know.
No, sorry. The guy called to come fix the garage door, and he's going to come in 15 minutes. So that's why
I do have a question for you, though, Kelly. So I know you were boxing me, and you were telling me whatever has turned out from what you were offering. Have you launched it yet?
Well, I got one coach sign up the other day. I got on the phone with that girl. I told you about that.
Yay!
And then I have a couple more that are in the, I'm trying to figure it out stage.
No, are they in the yes or no pile?
What?
Are they in the yes or the no pile? Because there's no ooh in the middle thinking about it. Are they in the yes?
One of them keeps coming back to me and says, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I'm saying, okay, when you're ready, I'm here. Like I don't quite know what to do with her.
Awesome. This is what you're going to do with her. You're going to set a deadline. So this is how you quickly get maybes into your yes or your no pile, is you have to set a deadline. And so I would just follow back up and say, hey, I have one spot. I don't know. Be honest. I don't know what you have, but I just be like, hey, I'm filling the spots today, so I just need to know within the next 24 hours. If not, I'll put you in my no pile. But you haven't put any pressure on her to make a decision. And if people don't have to make a decision, they sit in indecision. So I always tell people, when you're trying to offer them even jewelry or foot zoning or whatever it is, like I would not give them all these million options. I'd say, hey, I have two of these 2 bracelets left. Awesome. Do you want them? Like that's all I have. I wouldn't try to like sell everything because people need some sort of urgency, especially when they're in a position like you're like in a coach figure. You have to learn to take control at the sell, or you won't take control throughout the whole time you're coaching them. And so really take control and be like, these are my boundaries. This is like what I have to have. And don't be afraid of her being like, oh, well, I can't think that fast. So no. because that's where the fear comes in. And I'm telling you, you can't work with people that, if you don't work with people that think fast, they're going to be the ones you drag along over.
Oh yeah, we can't have that.
Yeah. And you think like, oh, I'll get them set up. And then all of a sudden I'm going to be this hardcore coach, or I'm going to like make them hold to their things. No, she's going to be indecisive on, well, I don't know why I can't follow the plan, or I don't know why I can't do this, or I don't like, and so really start to break those beliefs right now and be, for you, your declaration for the week is, I'm a confident salesperson. I'm a confident salesperson. I'm a confident salesperson who sets deadlines. Because if you guys feel like there's so many people in limbo, it's literally a deadline issue. You're not telling them you have 24 hours to sign up. And so your homework assignment for this week is to really sit down and make you said I have a few people. So the few people that came to mind, your job is to get to them today and tell them they have 24 hours. In whichever way you have to say it, you don't have to say it mean. You can say, hey, look, like I'm getting ready to start the program, right? Like the next round of the program, or I don't know how it works. Maybe they can hop in at any time, and maybe that's your first problem. And so, but just say, hey, I'm getting ready. I have all the stuff. I just want to make sure like you're wanting this product, or should I give it to somebody else? Just say, I need to know in 24 hours. I think you're afraid of them saying no.
I am. I'll admit it. I am.
So by the end of today, you're going to report that they're in the yes or the no pile, because it's stopping you from reaching more people, and it's blocking new people from coming in because you're still focused on these people. And I think it's still, you're just training your network marketing brain. We're still just retraining it. It's okay. You're making massive steps, like massive steps. The fact that like you actually got on the call with someone and it worked, go figure. So now that's what I would tell you. Have you tried to get more people on the phone?
Well, the gal I was chatting with last night, it was like 12:30 at night, and we were chatting on Instagram. So I was like, I don't know that now's the time for a phone call, but I think today I will send her a message and ask if she wants to chat about it and answer questions.
How I bought into $7,000 to be on stage with Les Brown was because a guy wrote me at 10 o'clock at night and said, hey, the information's just so much. Can I call you right now? I'm like, heck yeah. And so it never hurts to ask, or just say, when would be a good time to call? But when you create a long conversation on like Instagram or Facebook or whatever, it's really hard to sell. And ask Felicia. She hates discovery calls too, but I'm telling you, they work for her nonstop. She will tell you day in and day out, they work, no matter how much we all hate them. And I think you've just stepped into that. You just tried it one time and it worked. So continue to do what works. Quit avoiding and trying to go back to old patterns, because these new things are working. You just have to keep doing them, and then eventually it'll become your new norm. Does that make sense? Okay.
Be brave. I can do it. I can do it, right?
You are brave. You already did it, and you already sold. And just like that, you're like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get on the phone. And really just like confidence and bravery are going to be your words, and I would hang them on your wall or whatever you need to do to make that happen, because you're rocking it when you do it, which is like one time. And then you get the success and you're like, oh, well, I got that. But then you just like brush it off and ignore as if that didn't work when it just worked. And if you would have done 10 discovery calls in one day, you would have got them, all of them. And so you were 1 and 1. Most people are 10 and 1. You're 1 and 1, 1 and 1 for sales on a call. So do more of what works. So I'll stop harping on you now, but I see so much potential in you. And I always see you just like teetering your like network marketing brain, and I'm here. So I'm just always checking in. So I love it. I think you're doing awesome. How are you feeling, Faith?
Good. Yeah, good. I think you're right. I do have that fear of like feeling like I'm spamming people, or I'm going to, and they're going to get annoyed. But I realize that it's not, that I'm not at all. And if people get annoyed, then they'll just unfollow me, and that's totally fine.
Who are the top like or person or 5 people that you're worried about feeling like where's like who are you worried about impressing?
I I don't know really. Maybe just like my family, which I
Yeah.
consider my family.
Yeah, it's usually our friends and family because we're used to Facebook being that. And so until it shifts into, I'm like, I have 3,000 friends and I probably know like an eighth of any of them. And so until you start to shift into that mindset, it'll change. And so you're all going through this. You're all making massive progress. But the reason you're not seeing like the actual sales and the conversions is because it's like, in your mind, it's mentally hard and you feel like you're doing all this work to work up to it. Emotionally, you're doing a ton of work. But if you look at like strategically, it's not there. And so it's not a bad thing. I think it's great because you're breaking through beliefs little by little by little. And so I would say if it's going to bother you, put them on your list of where your friends and family don't see your post per se. Or I would say, remember they're not your ideal client and reach out to those pregnant women that really need you. And that's who you're talking to. And I think you're right. The more you just practice it, I want to challenge you to set a date or a time for your next video. And if you want me to give you a topic, I can. But if you want to create your own, you can as well. And so I think that the more that you guys just get comfortable with showing up online and talking about, you know, who you are, what you do, or just even educating people on the benefits of foot zoning, you know what I mean? Then people will understand because we think everybody knows about foot zoning and nobody does. And we think everybody knows we do foot zoning, but nobody does. Our friends and family, and yeah, they all are weird. So
Faith, I have to say too, I am your family and you don't bug me, but I know I'm doing similar things as you. But all I've seen are like your friends and family saying, I want to get this done, or like, you're awesome, or you know what I mean? Like I've seen so many positive comments from family and friends, and I've heard our family talk about like, she's doing awesome and stuff like that, you know? And so you don't need to be afraid of that.
I love that. And I think journal those fears because you know they're lies. Like, you know that it's not really what it is, but it's what's going to make you take the action steps to continue to be okay being nervous on video. Like, it's okay because it brings out, you're going to attract those people right then. I remember my first video, I was so nervous, but at that time I was attracting the moms. I was attracting the people that they were nervous and vulnerable too. Now I attract business owners that get on live videos all the time. So it's it's different. But if you go back and watch my first videos, like literally they're horrid. Like they're horrid. But I got so much engagement, and it's actually the time I grew my group the most. So just keep going because you're freaking amazing, and your attitude is just, I love you, and I would follow you on an all the time basis. And I'm gonna be honest. People that have long videos, like I don't really watch their videos. Like when I have you guys post videos, I'll watch up to 3 minutes of people's videos. After that, I check out. But I could follow for like the whole 15 minutes because you have the opposite personality of me and you bounce me out. And so I like following you because you're soft, you're genuine, like you're just like this I just want to call you like a mama bear, but I know you're not, but like, just like this mama bear feeling of like, you love everybody. And so you bring out the balance in me of like, tough love, I know you all can do it, just go do it, like blah, blah, blah. So like, so know that like, even like I watch all of your stuff and I actually go to your page all the time to see like, oh, what did she post? What did she do? Because you just have this attractingness to you. I'm just attracted to you. I don't know why. So show up more because I will even watch you. Okay. Any other thoughts or feelings? If not, I'll let you all go. Misty.
I was just going to tell you on a side note, it's kind of like separate from that, but because you're always talking about like carry money with you so you feel like you always have money and stuff like that. So I've been carrying this $10 bill in my van since the end of last week. I was like, okay, I'm putting a dang $10 bill in my van. I'm going to try it, you know? And then yesterday my husband was like, because you know my power statement's been, I am worthy of, you know, money basically, like I'm, and things that I want and need and want. But anyway, so my husband yesterday was like, hey, do you have $10? I was like, ugh. like, yeah, I know, but I was like, yes, why? And he's like, well, I need to pay one of his workers, and he's like, and I'm gonna pay him in cash for this small job he did, and I just need 10 more bucks, and I just don't want to go to the bank. And I was like, okay, yeah, no problem. And I went out to my van, and I was like, in my head, going back to my old thoughts. And I'm like, see, right when I get it, it's gone. Blah, 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 blah. It's only $10 and it's already gone, like within 2 days. And then I went in and gave him the 10, and he handed me a 20. He was like, I just didn't want to give that guy a 20, but I'll give you 20, you know? I was like, what? I just made $10.
I got goosebumps. That's awesome. I love it. Oh, that's so amazing. Oh, I love it. That's so awesome. Oh, I love money stories. I really do. I love money. And I don't love money because I love money. I love money because I've finally found this peace that I was looking for like 7 years around money. Like, I've known money energy for a long time. And it was about 7 years until it finally clicked. Like, it took that long for it to click. And so if you guys think like it just doesn't work for me or it doesn't, it does. It's just you have to create an experience where finally your brain's like, I get it. And so even though you still are going to have scarcity come up, it's like that small little click. Then like, she's one step closer, because I'm not afraid of money anymore. Like, we're already talking about investing $300,000 into my husband's business and just seeing what happens. And it's like, that could be so scary. And I'll still have old thoughts come up, but I'm like, I used to think that with like $5,000. Now we're talking in like $300,000. And so it's just cool to see the progress, but the fear never really goes away. You just learn to like manage it and manage those emotions when it's like, oh, I don't want to give away my money. No, I'm going to like give it away if I feel called to, and it's going to come back to me doubled. And so I love it. I love it. I love it. Awesome. Okay, you guys are amazing. If you need anything, please Voxer me, and we will go over things. I'll post the recording, and we will go from there.